team, keep it clean. Man, this thing has been so much fun, man. I appreciate the crazy positive response that y'all have sent with the podcast, man. I appreciate it a lot, man, because y'all, I'm sure y'all got other podcasts y'all listen to and whatnot, but I seriously, just appreciate y'all just coming through, listening to the podcast and just showing a crazy, insane amount of support for it. It has been so much fun for me, and like I always say, I wish I could have started this a super long time ago. I really wish I would have, but it's all good. Better late than never. Excuse me. Shout out to my guy Kevin. Who was our first special guest. He was our very first guest. So he, hey, that's something that it can never happen again. We can never have another first guest. So shout out to him. Shout out to all of y'all that have checked out his YouTube channel. He's super cool dude. Got to meet him before. Got to meet his family, his wife, his kids, at the flag football game. And they also, I remember when at one of the Ravens open practices, I had got there and those lines were crazy long. they were crazy long, and I got there and I went up to see where the front of the line was, and I was like, oh, big yikes. So I went to the back, and then I heard somebody calling me, and it was his family, so that they actually let me get in front of the line with them at the Ravens open practice. So he ended up getting some good seats. So it was cool, man. So shout out to them. They super cool people, man. So I appreciate y'all. Now, it feels like it's been a long time since we recorded an episode of the podcast. And again, another thing I appreciate y'all is that y'all know, and I told y'all from jump, this is why with the podcasting thing that I didn't want to commit to doing it with somebody else, or like for somebody else's company and whatnot. It could have presented some nice little opportunities and whatnot. It could have been a little bit lucrative and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, just that schedule, man, like, y'all, that schedule is so important. And I think, at least for me, as I've gotten older, schedule is, when you get older, you really, like, it's easy to say, oh, money ain't everything. It's easy to say that. Even when you're younger, it's easy to say that. And it all depends on, I think it all depends on how you were raised. And my mom, she always, she raised me good. She always gave me good values, and good morals, really good morals. And I've learned more morals along the way. But, I just, with money, as I've gotten older, it really hit me once I started working. From the time that I've started working until now, I really realized that, like, money is not everything, and schedule, convenience, location, those can outweigh money a lot. And, like, because if you compare, like, okay, you getting ready to make all this money from this job, but you gotta drive for 2 hours. Your commute is 2 hours. And I know y'all up there, if y'all up there in Maryland or D.C., Virginia, anywhere up there, then y'all are like 2 hours. That's nothing, man. That's just easy, man. Even some of y'all in California and whatnot. A lot of places, and this is what I always tell my wife, man. Anytime we get stuck in any kind of traffic down here in Florida, I tell her we ain't got no right to complain at all. Because she hates traffic. She hates it. She hates it here, so I said, man. I mean, and I remember one time, one of our trips that we took together up there, we were in Virginia, and I forgot what part of Virginia we were in, but we were, like, in traffic. We were not moving, and we were just stuck, and this is when Carter was a baby, like in diapers, baby, and he had to pee. I said, oh boy. But he was in the process of, like, getting potty trained, so he knew he had to pee. He told us he had to pee. So we ended up having to get I think we got a cup. We had some cup that we had from, like, leftovers or from fast food or something. And he had to go in there because we weren't moving. There was no way we could get to a bathroom because we was, like, stuck. The traffic there it's just so ugly. It's a different animal, man. Like, down here, anybody that moves from up there to down here and you see the quote-unquote traffic in South Florida, it's nothing. It is nothing. Nothing compared to up there. The only time that it can compare to up there is when there's an accident and it's really stuck. But that's like a normal day, being on BW Parkway. That's a normal day up there. It's a normal day. So the traffic ain't nothing down here. But anyway, I forgot how we even got on the subject of traffic in the first place. I don't even remember. But anyway, that's why I said these podcasts, man. This is right up my alley all day, and I love it. But like I said, I do appreciate y'all just supporting it so much, because it has shown. Y'all been subscribing to the YouTube channel, been listening on, whether you listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other of the platforms that host podcasts. However you listen to it, I thank you. Thank you for just being super supportive. I appreciate that a lot. Now, real quick, I know because and real quick announcement that I'm probably gonna keep this announcement on here. Well, y'all will hear it early. Nobody knows this yet, well, besides my wife. But we will be live streaming during the Chiefs and Ravens game. We're going to be doing a live stream during the game. So y'all stay on the lookout for that. And that, hey, only people who listen to the podcast will know, though. Only people who listen to the podcast. If you don't listen to the podcast, you won't know. You won't know. And hey, it is what it is. That's why, hey, you got to listen to the podcast, find out little tidbits, little information, little bonuses and stuff. But no, I might announce it on the channel one of these days, but maybe not. For everybody else who don't listen to the podcast, it'll just catch them by surprise. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna live stream during the game. Now, there have been a lot of people that had asked about, some kind of group chat, something that we could do where we all interact during the games, during the Ravens games, and so we created a group chat on Flick Chat. That's what it's called. It's called Flick Chat. That is an app. It's really, really cool, man. And I'm not saying this just because we made it, but it's really, really cool, man. It is super cool. It's super interactive. We have different polls on there. We have different questions, different it's super interactive. Like during the game, you're gonna be able to see the live stats. You're gonna be able to see the box scores. You're gonna be able to go play by play while the game is on. Like, it's super cool, man. It's super cool. It's called Flick Chat, and our it's gonna be in the link in the description and all the YouTube videos. I need to put it on here too. But it's super cool. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. Check that out because it's going to be a lot of fun. And we got different things you could vote on. Like I did a poll that said who's gonna win on Monday night, either the Ravens or the Chiefs. And 94% said Ravens, 6% said Chiefs. I bet if we had a Chiefs group chat, then it will probably look the same, but in favor of the Chiefs. We also did a poll on which rookie running back will have the bigger impact. Either Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the Chiefs or Ravens rookie J.K. Dobbins. Now, this one, it went 81% to Ravens J.K. Dobbins and 19% to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So that one, okay, that was a little more fair, and it's kind of hard to be fair in these, because I know it's predominantly Ravens fans coming through, so it's gonna be a little Ravens sided, but it is what it is. But nah, y'all make sure y'all join that. Again, the app is called Flick Chat, Flick, and Chat, Chat, and again the chat name is Ravens Flock. So y'all get up in there. Y'all will know when y'all are there. Y'all will see my picture. Y'all will see a picture of Marlon Humphrey, and Marcus Peters. All them Mars. Lamar, Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters. So shout out to everybody that's joined that up. I appreciate y'all. Now, to get into this week's picks, we're in week 3. We are in week 3, and week 3 actually started because I'm recording this on Friday. It's 12:23 p.m. September 25th. We actually had a game last night, and who would I have picked to win this game? I don't even know, because I know Jacksonville last week, they lost last week. The first week they won. That's when Gardner Minshew, he went like 19 for 23 touchdowns, no interceptions, and He was just balling that game. But then the following week, I don't think he did so well. And then last night against the Dolphins, he didn't have DJ Shark. And then Cam Robinson got ejected from the game for pushing the ref's arm off up. But Dolphins just took care of business. I don't even remember who I would have picked for that game. But that game is obviously done now, and the Dolphins won 31-13. So now, Sunday's games. We got Sunday's games. Who we got? We got the Falcons. The Falcons taking on the Chicago Bears. Aren't the Falcons 0-2? I think they are. I believe, yeah, they 0-2. Because they lost the first game to the Seahawks, and then in that crazy game, boy, I knew that. I just knew the Falcons had it. I knew they had it. I knew that game was over. I kept seeing it on Red Zone and stuff. I kept hearing about the highlights and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, Falcons got that. That's over. It was like they were up by 9 with like a couple minutes left. Then all of a sudden, them Cowboys came creeping back in, and Cowboys ended up with the win. That crazy onside kick, and I felt bad because Hayden Hurst, former Ravens first round pick from 2018, he was just sitting there looking at the ball. All them Falcons just sitting there looking at the ball. I'm trying to think like, wait a minute. There's no rule that says the Falcons receivers, they can't recover it. But they were just all around standing. Now the Cowboys, for the people that when you're doing an onside kick, I believe the ball has to travel 15 yards. I believe. So I don't know why the Falcons were just standing there. It looked like an okie doke. I don't know what was going on there. But anyway, I'm picking the Falcons to finally get that first win against the Chicago Bears. The Bears, they are undefeated. They're quiet undefeated. They played, who did they play? They played the Giants. And they played the Lions. Oh, yeah, well, Lions dropped it at the last second. DeAndre Swift. So, yeah, they can only play who's on their schedule. But they're quiet 2-0. But I think Falcons, they end up taking this. And Falcons, I don't know if they can have fans yet. I certainly saw Jaguars. Jaguars had a lot of fans at their game last night. But Falcons, I don't know if they can have fans yet, but they are certainly already used to injecting the fake crowd noise, so it's going to be like a regular game. It's going to sound like a regular game for them. So shout out to the Falcons. I think they take the win against the Chicago Bears. Next, the Rams. Rams are another team. They are a sneaky 2-0. Sneaky 2-0. And the Buffalo Bills, I think they're 2-0 as well. Oh, yeah, they played the Dolphins and the Jets. So, yeah, they 2-0. So, undefeated versus undefeated. You ain't hear all the hype about this game, though. But the Rams with that nasty pass rush against the Bills, Josh Allen, he just been throwing that ball all over the place. Oh, this should be a good one. I think this could be a really, really good game. Really good game. Wow. I don't even know which way to go for this one. I really don't. Rams or the Bills? Bills at the crib. Rams coming to visit. Aaron Donald, okay, you know he always pay a visit to somebody. Wow. This is tough. Rams or Bills? You know, I am, I'm gonna go with the Rams. My boy who's a Rams fan, he will be very proud of that. He'd be very happy. So I'm gonna go with the Rams. Wow, I picked the Rams. Oof, how about that? Over the Bills. Any game could obviously go either way, but I was about to say this game could go either way, but I'm gonna go with the Rams. Let's say that defensive line gets the best of Josh Allen, force him into his first interception of the season, and the Rams end up getting it. Next up, the Browns versus Washington, the Washington football team. The Washington football team, that pass rush is their bread and butter. They have taken care of business against the Eagles in that first week. They ate them alive. But then last week, they ended up they came up short against Kyler Murray and those Cardinals. But that was expected. And they play the Browns this week. I think the Browns end up winning this one. I think the Browns win this, and that puts them at 2-1. So that would be good for the Browns to sort of get into a little rhythm. But yeah, and Browns are at home. Browns have fans. I'm going with Browns in this one. I think they stay on track and end up getting 2 in a row. Vikings. Oh, Vikings versus the Titans. This should be a defensive game. The Vikings are sitting at 1-1. The Titans are sitting at 2-0. How about that? Who did they beat? The Broncos? Or who else did they beat? I remember the Broncos from week 1. Oh, the Jaguars. Oh, and that close one. I think they went to overtime. I'm gonna go with the Vikings in this one. Vikings had just been, I don't know what's been going on with them Vikings, man. They ain't been able to score. So hold on, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Vikings in this one, cause they just lost a linebacker though for the year. And you got Derrick Henry coming to town. You know, never mind. I'm gonna go with the Titans. I forgot about Jadeveon Clowney too. I'm gonna go with the Titans. I feel like it'll be a defensive game. But I feel like the Titans defense will be in better shape than the Vikings defense. So I'm gonna go with the Titans in this one and send them to 3-0. Next up, the Raiders, who I believe they undefeated too. They are undefeated too. They beat the Saints in last week on was it Monday Night Football? Or was it Sunday night? No, it's Monday Night Football. Yeah, they beat the Saints on Monday Night Football. And then you got they taking on the Patriots. Cam Newton. That play call, I saw somebody say, oh man, if Cam would have ran to the outside, it was wide open. It was an easy touchdown. And it's like that's easy to say when it's hindsight, because you know hindsight is always 20/20. You look back at things, and that's just life too. That's one of the toughest parts about life, man. Because sometimes you just gotta go through some stuff, man. We all done been through some stuff, and we all done gone through some stuff. Sometimes to really have such a great perspective on something, you gotta have been through it. That's why you gotta listen to your parents. That's why you gotta listen to your parents, because what your parents try to do, whether you're young, whether you're old, whatever, what your parents try to do, they try to prevent you from going through the bad stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But they try to prevent you from doing the bad stuff, so you don't get caught up in all that mess. And they try. And the reason why they try so hard is because they done been through a lot. And so since they've been through a lot, they don't want that to happen to you. So that's why they try to put you on game. But a lot of people don't listen. A lot of us haven't listened, including myself. We end up having to do stuff the hard way, man. I even be having these conversations with Carter too. I'm like, man, Carter, I'm trying to prevent you from this happening to you and blah blah blah. And Carter's 5. So it's all good though, man. It's part of the process. But anyway, so the Raiders are taking on the Patriots. I am going to go with the Ooh, they got a nice run game. Them Raiders had a real nice run game against them Saints though. They also acquired 2-0. Wow. I think this could actually be a pretty good one. Derek Carr has been playing pretty good this season so far. Cam Newton as well. This is a good one. Wow. This is a really good one. I'm really trying to figure this one out. Because I want to say the Patriots, they're at home. Belichick, blah, blah, blah. I don't see them losing 2 in a row, especially at the crib. But then the Raiders, Derek Carr, he been taking care of that ball. And they've been scoring. So yeah, he got 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, only been sacked 3 times. Wow, that's pretty good. Josh Jacobs is running. I think Richard's the number 30. He had a real nice game. Yep, there he goes. Jalen Richard. He had a real nice game and he closed it out against the Saints the other day. Oh, Darren Waller. Darren Waller. You know what? Call me crazy. I'm going to go with the Raiders in this one. I'm going to go with the Raiders over the Patriots in this one. And all the Patriots nation will go into a frenzy and be like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Oh, it's because we don't have Brady. They'll be tripping out, but they'll be okay down the road. They'll be fine. Next game. The battle between some of the most devastating injuries to the teams this year so far. The Giants, they lost Saquon Barkley for the year, ACL. 49ers, they lost Nick Bosa for the year, ACL. They lost Jimmy Garoppolo for a little while. George Kittle, will see if he plays. I'm gonna go with the 49ers. Oh, they lost Richard Sherman for a little while too. Wow, they are banged up. Wow. They got Nick Mullins though. Nick Mullins got that primetime starting experience. Even though it's not a primetime game. I'm gonna go with the 49ers. Raheem Mostert, I think he's out too. It's like they lost a lot of people, man. Oof, it's a big yikes. This game could be ugly. This could be a very ugly game. This could be one of them games where you watching it and you like, oof, are they both trying to give it to each other? Are they both trying to give the game away to each other? Yeah, I think that could be a very ugly one. So I'm going to go with the 49ers, but in an ugly, disgusting looking game. Next, the Bengals versus the Eagles. I'm going with Joe Burrow and them Cincinnati Bengals in this one. They are coming off of losing, barely losing, but still losing to the Browns last week. Joe Burrow, I like what I've seen from Joe Burrow. He, again, like when we talked about in the Browns-Bengals post-game video, one thing that I see from Joe Burrow is that he really tries to make every play. And it's like it's a gift and a curse at the same time. It's the Deshaun Watson syndrome. That's all it is. Because Deshaun Watson does the same thing. He's a good quarterback, as we know. But sometimes he can hold the ball for too long, and then he can end up getting sacked. You know what's funny? On him holding the ball last week against the Ravens, he did get hit quite a few times, but he didn't throw any picks off of holding the ball for too long. The pick that he threw, that Marcus Peters caught, he got the ball out quick. So maybe he need to just keep doing what he's doing and keep holding on to that ball. Because there was a time where I thought he was going to throw a pick when he held the ball forever, but it went right into his receiver's arms, in stride. But yeah, I'm going with Joe Burrow and the Bengals in this one. I think they have a pretty good game, and I think they actually win by multiple scores against the Eagles. That's what I'm rolling with. So how about that? Next up, Texans versus Steelers. I'm going Steelers in this one. I think the pass rush is just going to be way too much for the Texans' offensive line because their pass rush is fast. They really get after it so far. Now we know they took on. Who have they played? They played the Giants, and they played not the Titans. Who else did they play? They played somebody else that's not really good. Let me see. Oh, the Broncos. Okay, it is the Broncos that played the Titans in that week 1. That's why I got it mixed up. So yeah, okay, they played the Giants and they played the Broncos. So not very, and they played the Broncos with what was this? What's their quarterback's name? Because it ain't Drew Luck. I mean Drew Lock. I said Drew Luck. That's why I said Drew Luck, because that's a quarterback whose name we used to talk about a lot with the Colts, and Drew Luck. But it wasn't Drew Lock. It was I think Jake something. Driscoll. I think Jake Driscoll. That's his name, something like that. But anyway, they played him, and yeah, so they can't. It's their record though. It's their record. That's who is on their record. That's who is on their schedule. So you can't take that away from them. But as the season continues, and this is really with every team, that competition is gonna go up. It's gonna go up, and we just see how these teams respond. So yeah, I'm going with Steelers in that one. Though. Next up, the Jets versus the Colts. I'm going with the Colts. Don't even need to talk about it. Jets are a mess. They keep losing all their receivers. Nobody's healthy. I'm going with the Colts in that one. Chargers versus the Panthers. The Chargers. That game last week, I'm sure that took a lot out of them. That had to be exhausting because you're going up against the Chiefs. It could be a statement game. Any game against the Chiefs, especially for a lower tier team, is a statement game. But they were like right there, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't finish. So that can either help them a lot in this game or hurt them a lot in this game because there could be some little hangover from that overtime loss. And they play in an 0-2 Panthers team, but I think I think they pounce. Panthers don't have Christian McCaffrey. I don't think he's out for the full year yet. I don't think it's been confirmed, but he is going to be out for a little while. So, at least. And he obviously isn't the only person on the team, but I'm going to go with the Chargers in this one. I think Herbert, and that whole story about Tyrod Taylor, something fishy about that. Something very fishy about that. I'm not buying it. Nope, not buying it. Not buying it. But anyway, I'm going to go with the Chargers in this one. And I just think this is, it's like with Tyrod, it's something fishy about the story. But with Tyrod, it's like now he's at that point in his career where he's just a Band-Aid. And he's just a Band-Aid. And I said this actually before the season started. I don't remember what video it was. But anyway, I said I did expect Tyrod Taylor to just end up giving it up sometime during this season. Because that's what his role's been there, man. I mean, we saw it with him in the Browns that he was just a quick placeholder. Quick placeholder. It's like teams, they bring in Tyrod, and he was there last year, I believe, with the Chargers, but they have Tyrod there, and he's just a transition type of guy. Transition quarterback, he's sort of a safe guy. So it happened with the Browns, and now it's happening in a weird way, even though, like I said, I think it's something fishy. But it's happening in a weird way where he is it's the transition now from Tyrod to their young guy. And that's Justin Herbert, so we'll see how he does. But I expect him to win, him and the Chargers to take care of business. The Bucks versus the Broncos. I'm gonna go with the Bucks in this one. I think they start finding that little groove, and they started finding it last week. There was some drop passes and whatnot, but they started finding that groove last week. So I think the Bucks continue that against this Broncos team with, again, Jake Driscoll, whatever it is. Let me find out what his name is right now, man. Let me see his name right now. Oh, Driscoll. What's his first name, though? Oh, Jeff Driscoll. There we go. Okay, so I was close. But, so Jeff Driscoll. So, yeah, I think, yeah, I don't think this is going to be close. I really don't. I think this is going to be a blowout game. Next up, the Lions taking on the Cardinals. I'm going to go with the Cardinals in this one. I think this can be a rout, especially if that defense is on point for the Cardinals. And I think their offense will continue doing what they've been doing. Kyler Murray just doing his thing. Shout out to him, second year, looking more comfortable. Got some nice weapons. One of them weapons should have been a Raven, but it's okay. We ain't got to talk about it. But anyway. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals take care of business against the Lions. Ooh. Oh, this is a good... Ooh, the Seahawks versus the Cowboys. Oh, wow. This should be a fun one. Oh, I love these last two games. Oh, man. The 1 o'clock games start off a little bit slow, a little bit. I do want to see that the Texans and Steelers game. That will probably be the one that I'm interested in the most at 1 o'clock. But these the Cowboys versus the Seahawks. Oh, I'm going with Seahawks in that one. But that should be a fun one. Okay, that's exciting. And then to close out the night, the Saints versus the Packers Sunday Night Football. Oh, that should be fun too. Oh, man, I'm going to have to drink coffee or something because I be telling y'all, man, like, it's a struggle. And maybe covering the Ravens games, that's contributed to me not being able to stay up for them Sunday Night Football games. Last week, oh, man, that was such a good ending to that game. It's such a good game, and I missed it. I stayed up like right till the beginning of the third quarter of that the Seahawks and Patriots game because that's a game I really wanted to see, too. Such a good game, and I missed it. But I stayed up till right at the beginning of the third quarter. Then after that, knocked out. Out of there, man. I was out of there. So that was that. But anyway, I am in the Saints and Packers. Wow. So this is a tough one. I think I'm gonna go. Wow. Oh, I'm yawning already thinking about Sunday Night Football. It's a tough one. This is so tough. Oh, this should be a good one though. Wow. I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers. I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. With Drew Brees, I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers. I'm gonna give them the nod in this one. This should be a good one. Should be a fun one. But I just think that Drew Brees, I think he's on much more of a decline than Aaron Rodgers is right now. And you're starting to see his limits. You're starting to see what he's limited to do. Drew Brees, he's always been I don't want to say a shifty quarterback, but he's always been somebody that has some decent scrambling ability. That's the best way to put it. But that's like, he gets slower and slower, and he can move around less and less. And he's not a bad quarterback, anything like that, but I'm going with the Packers in this one. I think Packers, they take care of their business, and end up getting a win over in New Orleans, in Nolans. It should be a good one, though. This should be a really good one. So appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. So should be fun. Sorry, I was reading something and talking at the same time. That's why I just say appreciate it out of nowhere, because I was reading a comment on YouTube and trying to reply to the comment. But anyway, I do appreciate y'all now. So don't get me wrong. And I do appreciate Sunday Night Football having some really good games now too. So don't get it twisted. Still love and still appreciation. And then Monday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs traveling to M&T Bank Stadium, take on them Ravens. Initially, when I first did this game, before the season even started, when the schedule first came out, I put this as a loss. When I did my week 3 preview video for this game, I think I did it on Monday or Tuesday. I also put that I thought it'd be a close one, but I feel like the Ravens would lose. But then I did see some numbers that really caught my attention, and let me see them. You know what? I'm gonna try to remember it off the top of my head. I think the number was that the Ravens in home primetime games, they are under Harbaugh since 2008. In home primetime games, they are either 14-1 or 15-1. And I know numbers are just numbers, and the records can be broken, the records are meant to be broken, but that one really caught my eye, and I didn't realize that. So when the Ravens are at the crib and when the lights are on and everybody's watching, they put on their best. They put their best foot forward. And the one loss, I believe it was to the Steelers. It was on the Troy Polamalu jumping over the line of scrimmage and making Flacco fumble the ball, because Ravens were on a game-winning drive. They were on an extremely important drive, and Troy Polamalu just timed it perfectly, and he jumped over everybody and made Flacco fumble. Oh, I think that might have been on a 4th down. I forgot whether it was on 3rd or 4th down, but either way, Troy Polamalu, game changer. He's a beast of a safety, as we all know. But that was the last time they lost at home in prime time. So that just changed my decision on it. And then when I listened to the presser too, I was like, ooh. And they didn't say nothing like that was crazy hype or anything. They didn't say nothing hype at all. It was just a regular presser. They were just answering questions, and they were answering some questions. So I was like, ooh, big yikes on these questions. But they handled it with class and whatnot. But I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Actually, I'm gonna go with the Ravens. It just seems like this season is meant to be like 2012, man. It just seems like it. And these Chiefs gotta be the Patriots, man. Chiefs are this year's version of those 2012 Patriots, and they gotta be that to the Ravens, because The Ravens played them at home, prime time. They played the Patriots, and they won. It was a crazy game. Very stressful game. One of my favorite games ever, but that game was extremely crazy. It was emotional. That was the Torrey Smith game because his brother had actually just died in an accident earlier that morning, and he still played. And that shout out to him for just even being willing to still come to work, because that takes a lot, man. That takes a whole lot, because not everybody can do it. When you lose a loved one, not everybody can go to work, man. So it's tough, man. I remember when my grandmother passed, I went to work, but I went there and I was there for maybe 10 minutes, and this was in December of I think 2018. Yeah, December 2018, I believe. But I went there. I was there for maybe not even 10 minutes. But I told them what happened, and I left. I left. And of course they were cool with it. But back to my point. Not everybody can. When they lose somebody that you love, it's not easy for everybody to go to work. So the fact that he still went to work, especially at a job like he has, where it's all in the public. You're in the public eye all the time. They know how much you make. They know your schedule. They know your salary. They know the hours that you work. They know everything. They know it all. It's all there. And they watch you. They see you. They analyze you. They critique you. For you to still be able to go to work under all of that and perform the way that says a lot. So shout out to Torrey Smith, man. Shout out to Torrey Smith. For being able to do that. So, but back to what I was saying, this season just, it just seems like that, man. And the Chiefs are in the place of the Patriots, where back then, obviously very successful team, high powered team, the team to beat, because again, they're the champs. They're the Super Bowl champs. That's theirs. And nobody can take anything away from that. And they will forever have that. But now it's time to get a new Super Bowl champ. And that gotta be the Ravens. But anyway, so Ravens gotta take care of business on Monday night. And then I expect, no matter how Monday night goes, I expect the Ravens to see these Chiefs again in playoffs. But of course, both teams gotta make it there. Both teams we got a long way to go, man. Long way to go. But yeah, I am Ravens and this game could obviously go either way. Like I said earlier, any game could go either way. But with this game, it's just, man, and I know Lamar did say yesterday, he said they're treating it just like any other game. Marcus Peters said the same thing pretty much. Chuck Clark as well. They said, and I mean, it is just week 3. So no matter what happens, if the Ravens win, okay, cool, you 3-0, but it's just week 3. You got a long way to go. If the Ravens lose, oh, it's okay. It's not a big deal. It's week 3. You got a long way to go. Either way, you got a long way to go. So, but you want to take care of business. In a game like this, it could set up for a lot down the road. If both teams had the same record at the end of the year, this game would be the deciding factor for who got the higher seed. This game will be it. So whoever won, they would, say for instance, it would be for the battle for the number 1 seed. Say for instance, both teams were like 13-3. Or really, if they were both 15-1, then this game would be the deciding factor. But if they're 13-3, then it might not. But anyway, they would have to go to common opponents, and then they would have to go to the scores of those common opponents. It can be a mess. It can be a big mess. But that's why Ravens need to take care of business so they can be on the top of that mess. Anyway, like I said, it is definitely going to tell the story. Sammy Watkins, I forgot about him. They said he's in concussion protocol. He's gonna play. He's gonna play. That dude, he's gonna play. He's gonna play. He ain't gonna miss this one. He got what? Today's Friday. He got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday to get out of concussion protocol. He'll be fine. They'll give him a couple Advils. And they're going to be like, Sammy, yeah, let's go. He's going to be like, okay, I'm ready to roll with Alex Smith. And that's because he's still probably going to still have a concussion, and they still going to let him play. And he's going to be looking for number 11 out there to catch passes from him. But anyway, this should be a fun-filled weekend of football. I mean, every weekend of that we got football is a fun-filled weekend. And I am just super grateful that football is back, and it has been back. And again, this offseason has just been a roller coaster. There's been a lot of unknowns, uncertainty, but we're here. We're here. We made it. We are in the third week. Things are going great, and that is a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing, and I'm glad that we can all enjoy it. You know, some teams are doing good, some teams are doing bad, but hey, that's just part of being a football fan. And it's funny, it's just funny how a lot of people how connected people are with the teams. It's fun to watch, because some people feel like if they do certain things, then that'll affect how their team plays on Sunday. I used to feel like that. Oh boy, I used to feel like that so much. I used to put peppermints in a certain pocket, and I felt like that's like, especially during that 2012 during the playoff run, and during the games too. I felt like if I had peppermints in, like, I think it was my right pocket or something like that, if I had them in a certain pocket in my pants, then the Ravens would win. And then it didn't help that the Ravens, they went on that run in the playoffs too, and they obviously won all their games in the playoffs and won a Super Bowl. I'm thinking, oh man, these peppermints are a real deal, man. But I'm not like that anymore. But it's, whew, I know a lot of people still can be that way. But hey, it's all in fun, man. It's all in fun. Now, I don't even keep peppermints in my pocket no more. But maybe I should. But no, I'm not superstitious at all. I'm not superstitious. So, if Ravens gonna win, they gonna win. If they gonna lose whatever game they gonna lose. And it don't matter what peppermints you got in your pocket. It don't matter how your hair is. It don't matter what side of the bed you wake up on. It don't matter what you do before or after the game. It don't even matter. But it can be fun. I know for a lot of people it's fun to think that it does, and that can help them sort of be at ease or whatnot. But what's gonna happen if you do something, and every time you've done whatever something you've done, and the Ravens win? What if you do that something and they end up losing? What are you gonna do then? Like what? And that's not even for just Ravens. That's for any team. Like what's gonna happen then at that point? You'll be like, oh, well, you know what? Maybe I did it the wrong way this morning. You know, that's on me. That's my fault. Sorry, guys. But it's all good. Anyway, team keep it clean. Oh, this was fun as it always is, man. I love doing these so much. It is. I love it. 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 Like, y'all don't understand, man. Well, y'all do understand, because like I told you, I love it. But thank you. Again, thank you for listening. Thank you for being willing to listen. Thank you for just taking the time out of your day. Even if you listen to this on the way to or from work, whatever you're doing, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shout out to, I saw that y'all were leaving positive reviews, like on Spotify and on iTunes. So thank you so much for that, for real, because that goes a super, super long way. It's like with the YouTube video, it's like with leaving a like on a video. Some people think, oh, it's insignificant, but it's really not. It really makes a big, big difference. It seriously does. So thank you all for doing that. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for all you who be commenting on the videos when we put these up as YouTube videos. Thank you for that, because I see it. I see you. I take notice of that. My apologies that I don't always get the chance to reply, because I usually be logged in one YouTube account, then I don't want to be coming from multiple. It's just, I love y'all though. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. On that note, this was fun. We'll see how much of these game day predictions I end up getting right, and of course, whichever ones are wrong, we'll see. Anyway, Thank you for listening. This is episode 6 of the Team Keep It Clean podcast. And on that note, we are out.
You see my boy, he like I done made it. Boy, he's a fan and he like the Ravens. And you know just what I mean. You too, team, keep it clean. You see my boy, he like I done made it. Boy, that's my homie, ain't that right engraving. Shout out to Ingravenvids.